Welcome back once again, guys. Do you know that Justice James actually rejected Nnamdi Kanu's Ex-Parte transfer application, and now the appeal deadline is in danger, guys? Welcome back once again. It is no more news that Justice James has now turned down and he has rejected Nnamdi Kanu's Ex-Parte order for him to be transferred from Sokoto prison down to Abuja or any other correctional facility that is closer to Abuja. He wants to be transferred simply because it will enable him to file his appeal of that particular judgment that was issued by this same Justice James Omotosho last month 28th. Now, this is a very clear setback. This is different to following the fact that there is a clause of deadline on this particular judgment. Now, I would love for you to remember that after Justice James Omotosho has issued that particular judgment, Nnamdi Kanu has just 90 days after that judgment to file his appeal. The dangers of not filing that appeal is if that 90 days elapses, then that particular judgment of Justice James Omotosho, which he issued on November 20th, is what will be obtainable and it will stand. Therefore, Nnamdi Kanu will not have the decision to file that appeal anymore. So this is the reason why you see Nnamdi Kanu trying his possible best requesting to be transferred from Sokoto prison, where you people took him to. It does not have the jurisdiction, and even the court over there does not have jurisdiction for him to file this appeal. He wants them to bring him closer to Abuja, where he is going to file his appeal on that judgment. Now, as you could see on your screen, it is now clear that the court rejected Nnamdi Kanu's request to be transferred from Sokoto prison. So many persons who don't understand what outrightly happened, and the next line of action of Nnamdi Kanu is what we are going to be discussing in this particular video. Now that this court has rejected it, following that the 90 days interval is almost getting through, because as we speak, the 90 days interval of Justice James Omotosho is going to elapse on the 18th day of February 2026. Now, Justice James of the Federal High Court has rejected an application filed by Nnamdi Kanu seeking for transfer from Sokoto Prison Correctional Center to a custodial facility within the Federal Capital Territory. Now, we all are aware of this particular information. So, what is the Ex-Parte Nnamdi Kanu has outrightly sent to Justice James Omotosho? Now, let us see what an Ex-Parte is all about before we move further, because an Ex-Parte order is what Nnamdi Kanu has sent to the court so that he will be free to get closer to where he will file his appeal. Now, what is an Ex-Parte? Well, an Ex-Parte order is a temporary order issued by a court without hearing the other party's plea or request or opinion. Ex-Parte literally means an order which is one-sided. Now, what it means here is that Nnamdi Kanu is telling Justice James Court, grant me an Ex-Parte order for me to be transferred from Sokoto prison to Abuja so that I will be able to file my appeal. On the other hand, Justice James rejected Nnamdi Kanu's Ex-Parte and told him to go and file a motion on notice. That is, he told Nnamdi Kanu that he will not be the only one to see or hear this. Go and send a notice of motion to the other parties. Now, who are those parties? Those parties are the federal government, even the correctional center where he is in Sokoto, so that everybody will be in court on the 27th day of January 2026 when he would have joined that particular case. That is when he is going to hear what Nnamdi Kanu has to say. Now, what is the reason why an Ex-Parte is being sent? The key feature of an Ex-Parte is that there is urgency. Urgency is what makes someone file an Ex-Parte, but because Nnamdi Kanu's case deadline is almost closed, there is urgency in this case, and that is why he decided to file an Ex-Parte. Also, one of the features of filing an Ex-Parte is the fact that it is a temporary order, so that things will rightly move looking at the consideration of these 90 days. So you could see the reasons why Nnamdi Kanu filed an Ex-Parte. It's not as if he is a lawless person or does not know the law, rather, but he is trying to meet up with the 90-day interval that will be elapsing on the 18th of February 2026. The earlier the better, right? Now, Justice James rejected the Ex-Parte and told him to file a motion on notice. Look, as you can see on your screen, what is a motion on notice? A motion on notice is a formal request made to a court in which the other party is notified in advance and given an opportunity to respond before the court hears or decides the application. There are a lot of key features of this motion on notice, which are notice to the other side, urgency is lower, transparency and fairness is involved, hearing from both sides of the story is also involved in a motion on notice kind of requests. But this matter we are discussing here is the deadline that Nnamdi Kanu has as we speak. Now that he has sent that particular matter to 27 January 2026, when you calculate from 27th January to 18th February, you see that it is barely just 2 weeks plus or whereabouts. So you see that Nnamdi Kanu's appeal on this particular judgment by Justice James is in a dead meat trouble. This is exactly what is happening. So many persons are now quite inquisitive. If Justice James has rejected the Ex-Parte and has told him to file a motion on notice, one of the dangerous and intriguing things about this motion on notice is the fact that if the federal government lawyer representing the federal government against Nnamdi Kanu does not concede, there is every tendency that he may tender to the court that Justice James should reject this particular plea again. And when that matter gets to the 27th January 2026, it might yet again be adjourned to another day, and adjourning that matter is also elapsing the 90-day interval of Nnamdi Kanu to file his appeal. Now, are you seeing the gimmick that everyone is trying to play against Nnamdi Kanu's appeal? Now, so many people are also talking. Can Nnamdi Kanu approach another court to appeal his judgment? As you can see on your screen, it's not possible. Of course, it's not possible because a criminal conviction or final decision of a federal high court can only be appealed to one court, which is the Court of Appeal, not any other high court. You cannot shop for another high court judge to review the judgment of another high court judge. High courts are courts of coordinated jurisdiction. One high court judge cannot overturn the decision made by another high court judge. Now, I hope you can see where the situation of Nnamdi Kanu has fallen into. It's a very serious one, yet people are looking at it in a very simple manner. Now, must it be Justice James that Nnamdi Kanu should approach to file motions connected to the same case? Yes, obviously, once Justice James gave the final judgment, the appeal itself moves to the Court of Appeal, but motions connected to the same case like transfer, bail, stay of execution, or records of appeal must first be filed before the same trial judge, which in Nnamdi Kanu's case is Justice James Omotosho, except where conditions meet, probably the passing of the judge or severe illness of the judge, then a representing judge would come in. But in this case, Nnamdi Kanu has to file his appeal and every other motion through the same Justice James Omotosho. This is why Nnamdi Kanu has no option but to return to Justice James regardless of the outrage, regardless of their clash and several other things. Now the question here is that everybody is asking now is that Justice James, what exactly is the problem that Justice James has with Nnamdi Kanu? He convicted him, sentenced him to life, transferred him swiftly to Sokoto prison. Now he has also rejected his plea to be moved closer to where he will file his appeal. Is he clearly trying to frustrate Nnamdi Kanu for his outburst in the court a while back, or is he doing this as a way to satisfy his paymasters? We do not know this, but it is very clear that Justice James Omotosho is hell-bent on frustrating this man. Now, tell us in the comment section what you think the fate of Nnamdi Kanu is in this case. With everything you are seeing, rejecting the Ex-Parte, insisting on motion on notice, looking at the deadline of 18th February 2026, what is the fate of this appeal? You all can react in the comment section about this. Do well to often and always share this video, like the video, and do well to often hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell and click on the like button as well. Get to the comment section and advise Justice James accordingly. Let us know what you feel about this whole matter, because the court is the last hope of the common man, they always say, and at the end of the day, justice must be served. If this is your first time of meeting this channel, if this is your first time of coming across my videos on this particular channel, do well to hit the red subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell icon, and click on the like button. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to often and always type freedom for Nnamdi Kanu. For you will be justified and he will be free. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. This is Baz News signing out. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe.